Okay. We are live. Hello and welcome to Talk Chef. I'm one of your hosts, Reka.
I'm your other host, Jordan.
And our guest today is the very funny, very musically gifted, and foodie connoisseur, Matt Rubano.
Hi guys, thanks for having me.
Oh my God.
Literally finishing chewing my dinner during my intro like a pig.
That's how you know he likes food. He's eating now. That's how dedicated to the craft he is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited to have Matt. Matt is a good old friend of Reka and I that we've known for many years, have done comedy with. Matt and I toured together for a while doing comedy, but he's also probably the most famous person
that I know.
For those of you who are not familiar with Matt's work, which honestly makes you look stupid in this live stream, Matt is a professional bassist. He currently plays with the band Angels and Airwaves, which is Tom DeLonge from Blink-182's current band. He's also played with Taking Back Sunday, All American Rejects. Who else? He played for Dear Evan Hansen, the tour of the Broadway.
Okay, ever heard of it?
For the Broadway freaks out there. Matt, what am I missing?
Oh, lots of, did some Muppet music for the Electric Company back in the day. The great.
Okay, so you were in Animals band?
It was a human band. It was mostly human band, but we did Muppet music, Yeah, no, I mean, we were the humans doing the music for the Muppets.
I see.
I guess they're technically not Muppets if they're on Sesame Street. Like, Muppets are Henson brand Muppets. Like, not everything that looks like a Muppet isn't technically a Muppet, right? This isn't what the show's about.
This is almost what the show is about. Yeah. You're pretty close. Incredible. Matt, we're so pumped to have you. Out of curiosity, were you a Top Chef fan, or are you a Top Chef fan?
Over the years, I currently have no TV cable like service. I'm a streamer, and I still watch those DVDs every now and again.
I love DVD.
Yeah, so I don't have like regular kind of TV situation, but over the years in Top Chef's history, I have watched a good amount of it, and then also while on tour from time to time, if we were in a city where a winner had like opened their place, I would go check it out. Like, I remember taking a very rowdy large group of people to Flip Burger in Atlanta one night, and it was like year one. It was like in the early times, and it was like a it was a little scene, but man, I still remember my my s'mores milkshake from that.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So
because years later, you and I toured in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And we went to Flip Burger Bar, so I could get a Krispy Kreme milkshake.
Correct.
How was it?
It was fine.
Awesome.
Wanted to be. I think Matt got the s'mores one, and it was really good. Mine,
Yeah.
I don't know what I thought.
That would
I
be.
thought mine was going to be. I think I just wanted a Krispy Kreme donut.
I also have to say, Jordan, one of my favorite things about you as it relates to all things, but specifically when talking about food, is you are fearlessly honest.
Thank you.
Some might say too honest. Some fruit heads in the audience might say she's too honest.
What is too honest? What is too honest? That's, I don't know. But yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Well, you've got just as much of a pedigree to be on this show as anybody else, so we're so excited to have you here.
I have a brother chef and a brother chef that are probably watching and going to really scrutinize anything that I say.
Okay, wait. That's like real.
I didn't even know that.
Did you guys not know that? Oh yeah, my brother is a chef in Miami, and my dad, who is retired at this point, it was a restaurateur and a cook and my dad went like up the ranks of restaurant hood, from like busboy to manager to owner to what have you, throughout his life.
Jordan is from Miami.
Oh right, yes, you're from Miami.
Yes. Where's your brother a chef?
My brother is a chef at a restaurant called Sea Spice.
Sea Spice, two of my favorite things.
Yeah. It is a very posh, nice place that sort of has that Miami kind of nightclub swagger while also doing very, very decadent food.
Ooh, just like me.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Totally.
would describe Jordan as having sort of Miami nightclub swagger.
Yeah. 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 And,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Jordan, just so you
she's got
know,
like a pit bull energy.
yeah, totally. And just so you guys both know, when you are like yachting around, I believe there are yacht slips that you can just pull right up to the restaurant and eat. So you don't even have to disembark from your vessel.
Oh my God. I was just talking about Jordan about how I was worried about where I was going to park it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know you hate disembarking, Reka. You hate it.
I fucking hate parallel disembarking. I hate it all. Incredible. Well, Matt, we got a couple orders of business here.
Yeah.
First order, as you guys know, this is a live stream for charity. Every season we raise money for a different food-based charity. And this season we are raising money for Heart of Dinner in New York City. They provide grocery delivery assistance to the elderly Asian community in New York. Really awesome organization. You should check them out. And if you end up wanting to donate, you can do it through us by Venmoing Jordan at JORDANMYR1CK. That info is in the description of the video and it's going to be in the chat all evening. Or if you're like, hey, I want my freaking tax benefits, I'd rather donate myself and send you the receipt. That's awesome. You can DM the receipt to the Talk Chef Instagram. And if you're like, I think you guys can go fuck yourselves, I'd rather donate and never tell you, that's also awesome. And you can do that. We love that. So that info is going in the chat right now. And then Rubano, second order of business is a little secret we didn't tell you.
Uh-oh.
Which is just like every episode of Top Chef has a quick fire.
Mm-hmm.
So does every episode of Talk Chef.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Now, these are not going to be like cooking challenges or cooking questions. These are going to be Rubano food questions. Okay. As pertains to the episode we just saw. And just in case you're kind of like, maybe I'll just kind of fuck around and maybe this is just Jordan and Reka being stupid and I don't need to take this seriously. Let me tell you the prizes, okay? The prizes are, you can win a deed to the Terlato Wine Vineyard. Now, are you like, what's Terlato wine?
Did you say a deed also?
Yeah, you'll win the deed.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
the deed is right. It's right.
Rika has it.
Sorry, it's here. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it. Okay, it's right there.
Cool. Yeah, no, I don't know. That must be a very exclusive vineyard. I've not heard of it.
It's so exclusive that it's unable to be purchased by anyone ever. It was a regular sponsor of Top Chef. Reka and I have tried to purchase the wine. You can't find it anywhere, even wine places that claim to sell it on their like store inventory. When you call them, they say, what is that? I've never heard of that.
I have to imagine that Terlato wine is to wine what like easy cheese is to cheese, where like I guess it's wine, but like you're not going to find that in a wine store. You're not going to find easy cheese necessarily in a cheese shop.
Sure.
Does it exist? Has it been found anywhere? Is there ever is there proof of life, proof of wine confirmation anywhere?
Yes. So Top Chef has been sponsored by them for a bunch of seasons. In addition, we have found it and we're going to give you the deed to it. It's located in the Bermuda Triangle, so don't get lost.
Nice. Yes, and just heads up, some of the Top Chef contestants that we've had on the show have tried it and said that it does not taste good.
And the smallest glass is 72 gallons. So you have that to look forward to. And also, if you complete this quick fire, which is a 45-second quick fire, it's pretty quick, you will receive your own suite of broken GE appliances, just like you see on the show. We're talking a fryer that drops temperature. We're talking an oven that turns off while you're making clafouti. Whatever you want.
Did someone mess with this? Did another competitor mess with my oven? And then you'll say, no, I live alone. No one could have possibly done that.
No one, I live alone. Biggie did it.
Yeah.
Biggie is Matt's dog. I'm not just evoking Biggie.
Here. Oh my God.
Okay, everyone look at this dog. All right.
It's older.
If I had to describe this dog, I would say it is small. And very cute.
13 years old.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Right back into the lumbar position.
Oh my God. Incredible. Well, Matt, are you ready for your quick fire? 45 seconds.
Yes, bring it.
Okay. Every time, okay, but if I put it in front of my face, okay, great. I'm going to start this timer the moment Jordan finishes asking question 1.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Would you rather not be able to touch, smell, or see the food you're about to eat?
I would be fine with not being able to touch it.
Dining in the dark, cool or lame?
I haven't done it, so cool until otherwise.
Favorite ingredient?
Oh, damn it. I hate favorite questions. Black licorice.
Did you notice that I dyed my hair?
I did. Yes.
What food is most like music?
Probably wine.
Most memorable food you've eaten on tour?
Berries Pavlova.
Favorite Top Chef contestant ever?
Bad at this. I'll go Blaze just because I liked Flip Burger.
Who do you think will win this season?
The guy who perseveres today. His name's Gabe.
Ooh, time is up. You were so close. I cannot believe you said your favorite ingredient was black licorice.
I couldn't think of. I thought of something that I do like because when I'm cooking, I'm bad at the superlative question.
No, that's fine. It's so funny to me. I find it to be a disgusting candy, and you viewed in that question, in the world of that question, in that time crunch you're in, you viewed it as an ingredient, and that's.
Yeah, it's very rarely included in anything else other than a glass jar at a candy store.
Yeah, it's so weird. I was trying to make ratatouille the other day, and I didn't have any black licorice, so I couldn't.
I couldn't figure out what to stuff my chicken with, so I stuck
Of all the things a person could not like about me, my preference for black licorice is definitely rates high. I've never realized it was such a hate-inspiring candy.
Well, it's only because it tastes disgusting. So
right.
Yeah.
Smells
That's
weird.
Yeah.
You know how many varieties of it there are, though? There's like really around the world.
Because they keep needing to find the right one because they haven't mastered it.
They haven't gotten it right.
Yeah, they never got it right. Incredible. So let's hop on in to this little quick fire.
Okay.
I thought this quick fire was like an Escher painting. I thought if you had to describe it, it's impossible. It made sense when you watched it, but the instructions, I was like, if I was these chefs, I'd be like, what the absolute fuck are you talking about, Padma?
Yeah.
The basic gist is there is some secret chef with a face tattoo who made a 5-star dish. This 5-star dish is placed in a black box. 3 of the chefs go in and taste the food. Then they come out and they start to prep it based on what they think they tasted in a dark room. They get X amount of minutes. Then their partner goes in, tastes the same dish, comes back out and tries to finish the meal, but they cannot communicate with each other and they have to try to recreate the meal. I think this challenge is stupid.
Yes, I never understand how these challenges work because they're all working in a communal kitchen. So they'll be like, oh, she didn't notice that there's carrots on the stove for her. I'm like, how is that person supposed to know that those are for them?
That sucks.
That part was frustrating.
I think that was frustrating. That's like watching just something unfair happen. I think that's fucking stupid. And I don't think it tests anything relating to being a chef. Because if you're a chef, you can be like, I already started that. Like, not like I have to be quiet and wait for my sous to figure it out.
Yeah. I also find it really, really impressive when I watch. I mean, granted, I suppose similar to like if I listen to music, I can hear what's going on. But when I watch someone taste something and start calling out the ingredients that are not like,
oh my God,
obvious, that is like beauty. That's like you really know it when they're like there's a carrot puree, there's a small bird, and like it's just so fascinating to watch someone have their palate be that refined that they can even do it. And it's also interesting when you see somebody miss something that everyone else gets because that just might be what you got. That might just be your tongue.
Exactly. I was like, Dawn, this is kind of hot. Like she was just crushing all of the ingredients.
Yeah.
And then I that little what is it called? Graviche? The sauce. I was like, it's made with a hard-boiled egg. These poor contestants, they're having to like try to taste a liquefied hard-boiled egg.
I was shocked that was not more picked up on because I think graviche has a very specific flavor and texture. In my experience, which is obviously limited, but I'm like, if you're a professional chef, I think that thing is like very specific. I mean, it's like a hard-boiled egg. It's like a sauce. It's like a pico de gallo of hard-boiled eggs, essentially, is how I would describe it.
Okay.
That's how I would describe you too, Jordan.
Thank you.
Wow. So there's an egg element on the plate and a small bird.
Yes, it's a little sad, right?
It's a brutal.
It's mother and daughter.
Yeah.
It's like a mother-daughter dance on that plate.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Wow.
Every vegan viewer right now is like, duh, duh, duh.
I almost feel like this isn't worth going through.
Really, it's not. We don't even need to say it. Also, who was this chef? Who was this chef?
He was a Portland guy. What was his name?
His last name was Rucker, right?
Rucker, yeah.
To be honest, I didn't write it down because I did not like this quickfire. I'm sorry, that's rude of me as somebody that attests to giving you a you know, an update on this show, a recap, but I thought this quickfire was dumb. So incredible. I also found it very stressful when nobody realized there were hard-boiled eggs in it and they had 5 minutes left. I'm like, how are they gonna do
it? I didn't realize that the 15-minute segments that you couldn't communicate until the 5-minute segment, which is
so annoying.
Yeah. Although, one of the contestants was really smart about laying out the means. Yes. Instead of getting caught up with going too over
on the hotline and all that stuff. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, so for the second half, they get little care packages from their families. Very sweet tearjerker moment.
Do you guys get choked up when you're watching the show at all? I was watching in the middle of the afternoon. I was practicing bass while I was watching it, and there were at least 2 moments where I was like, what is that? Oh my God, I'm sad.
Top Chef makes me cry all the time. That ain't no new thing for me. So yes.
Okay. All right.
I would love to talk about what would be in our ideal care packages.
I love that question.
I know I can already tell you if my family was going to send me one, I can tell you like most things that would be in it.
Yeah, I guess that's an even better question. Not your ideal care package, but if like your like whatever partner, family, best friend, whoever is going to put together a care package for you.
First, from my dad, it would be 350 pounds.
Okay.
It would be gigantic. It would be food. It would be an insane amount of food. It would have loads of cured meats and cheeses in it. It would be part charcuterie. It would be probably a bunch of pasta and just all around the Italian kind of menu. And then probably an inordinate amount of sweets, baked goods.
And you are Italian, right, Matt?
I am Italian, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, my family is Sicilian.
Ooh. My dad would not have any semblance of what should go in the box. He would put 17 packages of parota. He would put 14 packages of bread. He would put 39 squash he grew and 4 tomatoes that are all green and not ripe. He would put a box of cereal and a bunch of like napkins from a Chipotle or something in a box and put it in a flat rate envelope.
He sounds resourceful and he has his mind in the future with those yet to be ripe tomatoes.
Yeah, exactly. It would be an extremely unhelpful box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Jordan?
My family would definitely put a bunch of shrimp in my box. Shrimp head.
Are you shrimp head? You love shrimp?
I love shrimp. Anyone who watches this show knows that when I was a child, I had to be put on a shrimp diet where I couldn't eat shrimp anymore because I was eating so much shrimp because I lived in New Orleans as a child. I was eating so much shrimp that my cholesterol was like the level of that of a dying elderly person.
Wow.
And I was a husky child. So
Jordan is currently in shrimp remission.
I'm in
recovering.
Shrimp remission now.
That's great.
We're hoping for the best. But yeah, so it would definitely have shrimp. It would have a lot of chilies and hot sauce. I think like cilantro, avocado. I think a lot of things that I like that weren't necessarily cohesive. So like a big bar of chocolate, but then also like a bunch of za'atar or something.
Sure.
So I think it would be not cohesive at all, but there would be a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I do have a follow-up question. Do we think that they should have had to use everything in the box?
Absolutely not.
That would have been that's what I thought it was at first, and I was like, this is going to be disgusting and insane.
I think they should have had to use everything in the box.
No, as someone who I know my parent would have provided me with 14 loaves of bread, I'm so glad they didn't have to use
just use a little bread, Reika. That's it.
Make some breadcrumbs. Let it.
There's nothing else in there, Jordan. It's all bread. My dad will take food from a continental breakfast and wrap it in a bunch of napkins. He's like, here's our lunch and dinner for the whole day. And it's just bread.
I love Reika's dad. Reika's dad a bunch of bread in real life. Just like mailed her a bunch of bread. And then I got it for breakfast this morning.
Yeah, he mailed it to me in an envelope.
Stop talking about him. Stop talking about my friend like that. From
where? Where is this bread being mailed from?
It is being mailed from Pennsylvania.
Okay, so it's got a trip then.
It's got a big carbon footprint for sure. On this bread. Incredible. Okay, so we don't care about the results of that first thing. Okay, great. Okay, so they get their care packages. I was so shocked when Dawn's brother said that she had been there a few weeks. I'm like, we're already at the top 5 and they've only been there a few weeks. Whew, they are tired. Got very teary-eyed when Dawn was talking about her mom. When Shota said his parents wrote almost nothing in the note, I found that to be one of the most relatable things I've ever seen on TV. My parents would not write jack shit in that note. They'd be like, hi, Reika, best of luck from Dad. I would get hit with a from so hard.
And he also added he tried to let them know that he wasn't upset. He was like, I
have to do that constantly. I'm like, my dad doesn't know how to spell my name. It's okay. You should it's fine.
I realized that when they were talking about how long they've been there and the missing their family bit, which is kind of just like a trope of the show, right? I mean, that's like a thing that comes up. That while I was watching it, I started doing the math on what like pre-production and production and shooting is like. Totally. And all I could think of was like, I've been away from my family sometimes for like 10 months or 8 months, like like while on tour or something like that. And like, I was like, man, these people are soft.
Yes.
But then I realized they have children and they have like.
And they're under like psychological duress. They're like sleeping in, this season because of COVID, they're sleeping in hotels, but normally they're in like bunk beds, like adult bunk beds.
Touring is kind of like that though. Touring.
Oh yeah, no joke. Tour bus.
I bet touring is exactly like this for sure.
Yeah.
So you're right. They're soft.
I was just like thinking like, wow, that doesn't usually hit me until like month 3, which doesn't mean I don't love my family or miss them, but
of course
you learn to cope with what's going on in front of you.
I will say, haven't we talked about how they aren't allowed to read or like look at their phones?
Yes, I had a friend that was a project coordinator, but like a contestant coordinator. I had a friend allegedly that was an alleged contestant coordinator on a show about designing clothes, and they said that allegedly we're very scared. We are on Bravo's radar also is what I'll say. Like Bravo follows us on Instagram and stuff. So I am terrified of being sued by Bravo. Right. But apparently the contestants on a lot of reality shows, including maybe potentially Bravo shows, they're not allowed to read, do a puzzle, look at the news, watch TV, watch movies. The only thing...
Movies, huh? Oh, I lost you for a second.
Oh, yeah, no movies, no TV, no. I think it's
no
so that
or nothing.
I think that's it. Those are like the rules in The Bachelor, which is like that show's insane.
I was going to say that sounds like something where they really are trying to keep you cut off from the world's response to your work on the show, work on The Bachelor. But that I guess that they also want it to just be like you're not like communicating with somebody through the classifieds or something.
Yeah, secret chef stuff. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I thought this challenge was okay. I think it's weird because the challenge was like a pretty neutral challenge, but the caliber of the chefs is so good. There's like everyone left is like really, really awesome. Right. So the dishes that were made, we're going to do a quick thumbs up, thumbs down on whether we would like this dish. Your criteria, pretty loose. Do you think it tastes good? Do you think it's a good Top Chef dish? Literally, whatever you want. So Maria made grilled chicken wings with miso and ginger, a bean sprout salad, and a tequila cilantro vinaigrette.
I'm going to give this a thumbs down because I hate bean sprouts.
I'm going to give it a thumbs up because I like them?
I would not have ordered it in a restaurant if it was on the menu.
Okay, that's a good. That's
By
a
the
good
description
gauge.
alone.
That's a good gauge. Okay, Jamie made teat cow braised brisket, caramelized Thai chili jus, and pickled cucumber.
Good.
This looked good. Obviously her rice didn't turn out super well, but looked good.
What was the criticism of the rice? That it was too dry?
It was like hard. I think it was like hard and dry.
I will say that I only very recently got good at making rice consistently well.
Okay. Do you have a technique to drop?
I like to toast the rice in butter and garlic before adding any liquid.
Rice-a-roni style.
Rice-a-roni.
Basically, it comes in a box, and I've got really good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
I like rice-a-roni, and I think that I'm always like, ooh, what, like, you know, I like it. Okay, keep going. I'm sorry.
No, that's it. It's about timing. It's about, you know, that little toasting at the beginning, and then having the fat, I guess, coat the pot. Where before I was just like a tablespoon of olive oil and water and rice and crossing my fingers and then peeking and everything. You know, just leave it be. Got my timing down and everything. I've been making lots of sesame rice, jasmine sesame rice lately.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite things is in the entire world. If you've ever been to a Filipino restaurant, their garlic.
That's what I'm trying to get. That's what I'm trying to make, basically. That's what I'm going for. Exactly that. Have you ever been to that one Filipino place on 2nd Avenue in Manhattan, like kind of in the
Harlika? Yes, it's one of my favorite restaurants in the entire world, and it is in fact closed.
Sorry guys, R.I.P.
I was truly devastated when it happened. It was one of my favorite restaurants in the entire world. I went there all the time. If you live in New York, their sister restaurant Jeepney is still open, and that's good too.
Oh, I think Jeepney is what I'm. Wait, where's Jeepney?
Jeepney is up the street, but there's like no, or at least there wasn't no real.
Jeepney's newer, correct?
Yeah, and there's no real seating inside, and it's mostly just like Filipino street food. Maharlika was more of like a sit-down restaurant that did like brunch and cocktails and the whole thing.
Right. You nailed it. That is my rice. That's my secret rice technique. Is I'm going for that.
Love that.
Yeah.
We love that. We love a little rice drop. Okay, Shota made a miso marinated wagyu shoulder, matsutake puree, and a persimmon salad. You know I'm all about to fuck this
People
up.
seem to love that mushroom puree. He was like, this is a no-no, but I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, he's being a bad boy when he did it, but it worked.
Take risks, win awards, guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Gabe made panuchas with braised pork, kale, and pickled red onion.
Yeah, I can taste that.
This looks great.
Yeah.
And then Dawn made pork belly with a pecan caramel, collard sweet potato, and red eye gravy. I mean, that sounds like I think it's so crazy to me when people have family that knows, like someone pointed out in the chat, like knows what they cook.
Right.
I'm like, what a great selection of ingredients for her. Again, my family would not fucking send me shit. So
to add to that, to the family thing, like my father came to visit me here in LA during the holidays, and I was like a little nervous. Not nervous, but like I was a little like, oh, what are we gonna do? It's locked at, like everything's closed. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do. It's kind of cold out. And we spent the entire week cooking and eating and talking. And that's it. And then I just visited him at his house in Mexico, and it was like the same thing. Like we would make breakfast and then talk for 3 hours, and then go out and then make lunch and talk about it, and make dinner and just sit there all night. And it was nonstop, like just, you know, watching what he was making, and when then he was here, he was watching what I was making. And because he is like, you know, this food master and perfect. It's the same with my brother. If I'm ever cooking and I'm like in a jam, I'll just call my brother literally while I'm, you know, cooking, and ask him stuff, and he always takes the call and saves the day for the most part. And he always will tell me "we chef," which always sounds, when you hear "we chef" from a chef, you're like,
oh my God.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So I have that's my lucky advantage. Those are the two main reasons I'm able to sustain myself cooking, is my bro and my dad.
Wow. My dad will microwave chicken nuggets for 35 minutes. So.
Leave my friend alone.
Until my house gets set on fire. Incredible. So this was an interesting elimination because Dawn, her dish apparently was really good, but she didn't sauce two of the plates. And this is the third time something like that has happened to Dawn.
To Dawn specifically?
It sucks. Dawn is so good, but what sucks is like if you can't play the game, it is a little like so in the first challenge she didn't plate her like sauce that was like 50% of her dish. Mm-hmm. There was another challenge where she missed a plate or she forgot to, it was something similar, and then this is the third time that's happened. Wow. Which sucks. She's an Olympian. She was like a long jumper.
Was she in fact the one saucing her plates, or was someone helping her?
She was saucing. She was saucing. Yeah. So it's a bummer. But it is like, well, when everyone else is able to do it consistently, you got to wonder if you're taking on too much then.
And when you get down to the wire at the end of a season, it's little things like that that will get you cut.
Totally.
I love the tone. Go ahead, Jordan. Oh, wait.
Jordan, go.
Okay, fine. My thing is different. I was just saying, I thought this elimination challenge was boring. I think they should have had to use everything in the box. I think it would have made them be a little more creative. I think everyone just kind of made their food, which I think is nice, Reka. I think that's nice. But I think it's boring. We're too, like, they're supposed to be allowed to make, like, their food in, like, maybe the last 2 episodes.
I was going to say, all these foods, particularly with Gabe, looked like stuff he has made before.
Yes, with all of them. I think Dawn's was really the only one to me that felt maybe, because I feel like Dawn has stuck so close to the challenge every single time that this felt a little unique to me for Dawn. But some of the, like every other dish, I was kind of just like, yeah, this looks like stuff you made before. It looks delicious. I would eat it. And I don't even think it's their fault, because why wouldn't they make it? I think it's on the fault of the challenge. Make them use everything in the box. Make Jamie use matzo ball soup and then all her Vietnamese ingredients. Like, that's what I want to see when there's still this many people left in the competition. I don't want to watch everyone do a beautiful composed dish of their favorite ingredients. I'm like, okay.
Right.
Sure. I think this episode was a bit of a miss as a whole.
I agree.
This goofy, strange magic show, quick fire, and then this sort of like middling elimination.
Apparently is like a staple on Top Chef.
Top Chef France. I'm like, I'm glad I don't live in France, because this sounds crazy to me.
That I do feel like Reka and I need to get together and watch all the top chefs from different countries.
Yeah, right? I do think, as much as I just said that, I would absolutely do that.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we have to watch it. At least like Canada or somewhere else that like is close by.
Yeah. Fine, we'll do it. Okay. So at judges table, on the top we've got Shota, Gabe, and Dawn. And on the bottom, we've got Maria and Jamie. The winner ended up being Gabe, and then Maria got eliminated, and then Jamie said, no, give her a second chance.
I love it. I love it.
Okay, so I have a feeling this is heated, because I think you thought I was joking, Jordan. I found it very beautiful.
I didn't. And I thought you were wrong.
Okay, so first, backstory, Rubano. Jamie got eliminated halfway through the season, and she got brought back through this thing called Last Chance Kitchen, where eliminated chefs can compete and one person gets to come back in.
Oh, wow.
So she got a second chance to come back in. So that's why she kept saying, give Maria her second chance.
But they don't give everyone a second chance.
Well, after a certain point, they stopped doing Last Chance Kitchen. So if you get eliminated after episode, like whatever, 10, you don't have a shot in getting back in.
But most people get a second chance. And I would argue, Maria's my gal, a fellow lesbo, but Maria has had thousands of chances. It's not like Maria has knocked out of the park. What?
No, I was going to say, it's not that I think, she should be back in. I thought it was just a sweet gesture. No. And I think Jamie was very genuine, and it did touch me. I mean, I thought it was very sweet.
Yes, I don't think you're wrong. I just think that, like, coming from Jamie's point of view, I'm just kind of like, okay, Maria has had like a million chances. And also, like, my thing is, you have to be like Kevin on Top Chef AllStars. It's like, if you're going to say, I'm taking the loss, you have to take it and leave. Because there's been so many times where someone says, I don't want them to go home. Send me home. And then the judges are like, okay, do you want to go home? And they're like, no,
I just
like, okay, cool. And that's I think Jamie was being completely authentic.
Yeah.
But I think if Jamie really, really wanted Maria to stay, she should have said, I'm leaving. Bye. thank you so much for the opportunity, shake the judge's hands and leave. But there was so much back and forth and so much, like, if you really want to leave, you don't let there be that much back and forth.
Do you think it's an empty gesture? Has it been done before? Does that sort of thing happen from
It
time
has been done before, but
Many times.
usually not emptily. It is usually the person who says, take me out, and they like very definitively say, take me out, or I give up my immunity and want to be judged with my peers.
Whoa.
But I think it's happened so rarely. It happened with Mia, and I think Mia knew she was going home anyway.
It happened with Mia. It happened with Jamie.
Wait, who was the person you said before?
I said Jamie.
Oh, yeah,
Mia,
Jamie, and Jamie meant it, but that I thought was stupid. Jamie should not have gone home. There was no reason for him to sacrifice for those other people. It happened with Kevin, which I do think the thing with Kevin made sense.
I think the thing with Kevin made sense.
Yeah, because Kevin was the head chef. Sorry, Rubano. This is
all inside baseball.
I'm watching. I'm into it.
But I do think there are a lot of times when someone are like, well, I don't think so-and-so should go home. And the judges are like, okay, well, you want to go home? And they're like, no. I think if Jamie, I do not think it was an empty gesture, but I do feel like Jamie was kind of more like, hey, I'm putting this out there to see if Maria takes it, rather than being like, I'm leaving and I'm giving this to you.
I thought she was a little more convicted in it. She said, I would quit for her. I wouldn't quit, but I would quit for her, is what she said.
Yeah, but she did.
Fair.
I really think, though, like 2 minutes after that decision, you're like, fuck.
No, I mean, you absolutely are. Maria's story was very touching. Someone in the chat pointed out when she said the thing about like, this show revealed something in myself I thought I had fixed. I was like, wow. Yeah, isn't that us every day?
So true.
And then when she said, I'm just a girl from Sonora, and then Tom said, that girl from Sonora has a lot of talent. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
That was I also think it kind of like muddled Maria's exit a little bit. I thought it was Maria's time to go, and I'm kind of like, just let her go. Like, unless you're actually going to leave, just let her go. Let her get her compliments. Let her cry a little bit, and then let her go home to her son and her wife.
Elaine is pointing out too, when Kristen and Maria have that little heart to heart about like, this was my problem too, and when you realize you deserve to be here, you can like shine, kind of thing. I thought that was very, very touching. Judges table.
Jeff would be such a more harsh show if Jordan was in charge.
Ruthless, absolutely ruthless. She's fucking Gordon Ramsay over here.
I'm equal. One thing I'm going to touch on is Sean in the chat is saying, where's the Chef Congeniality Award for Maria? And I'll tell you, on Bravo's website, you can vote for your fan favorite competitor every single season. This season, I think they've already gone through one round and narrowed some people out, but a bunch of people are still in it. All you have to do is put in your email and you can vote, and they win, if I'm not mistaken, $10,000. That's what it used to be, and that's still what it is. You win $10,000. So you go vote for Maria. I voted today, actually. Do I tell? Is it gauche to say who I voted for?
Okay, Jordan.
Is that how I use the word gauche?
Just fucking say who you voted for. You always make this shit political. Just say.
Reka, guess who I voted for.
Like, who has been out?
Avishar. Yes.
Of course, bitch. Yeah.
I knew she'd know.
Hi. Jordan had a really bad week when Avishar was eliminated.
It was hard.
It was hard for her.
Longer.
He's very sweet. But yes, all these chefs seem like really nice people. These people seem to really bond well, especially given the COVID bubble they were all put in.
Yes.
It's a very unique season where everyone seems really friendly and very, very genuinely close. Rubano, as like one of your first forays into Top Chef, what did you think?
That is interesting. So this is the COVID season.
This is the COVID season.
Right. It's not like a theme or anything, but that is intense. I mean, that does make it unique and special. I probably had I more free time would have liked to catch up on the whole season so that I could like really know what's what. There's always a lot of like in the past when I have been watching it regularly, that's like it's good to know where everyone's coming from relative to the show. Some people have near misses and are able to stick around, or some people kind of like really are like the dark horse where you don't see them coming, but they just everything they put out is just like gangbusters. Yeah. And then they'll have like the episode where they fuck up and then they have to overcome that. Yeah, I like it. I forgot certain parts about the show, which are like and this is not to like lampoon any of the like mega professionals and like heavy food personalities that are involved in this show, but it would be the same way if it was like a music thing for me, I guess. But the seriousness of things like, you really can't forget that red eye gravy.
Yeah.
Nice for everyone to experience it is like the way that they're spoken to sometimes, and they all take it, but it really does elevate the intensity of everything that happens on the show.
What would be the equivalent for you as a musician if someone gave you a note like that at judges table for music? I almost said music chef, top music.
Music chef. It would probably be something like you missed, like if it was, it'd be like you missed a dynamic marking at the bridge. At the bridge, you're supposed to go pianissimo.
Did you, Rubano? That sounds fucked up of you. Did you?
Shitty, right? It means my eyes aren't on the page. And you were not quite pianissimo. Pianissimo is like very quiet, and you were like a piano. And it's like, it's the bass player. You should know that.
I should never play music.
So my first thought was, why are you playing the bass on a bridge? And then I realized what you meant.
Yeah, so you can play bass.
Gordon and I should never play music.
Yeah. You can play bass anywhere you want, just so you know.
That's beautiful. I actually played the piano for so long.
I played the piano too.
Were you so bad at it like me?
Here's what I did. I never learned how to read music, and I would memorize what my teacher did. And then I kept telling her I didn't know how to read it. And then I was just memorizing. And every time she'd be like, okay, start from this measure again. I'm like, can I just start from the beginning?
I see. Okay, I had the opposite thing of you. I was not very good at it, but really wanted to be. But I do know how to read music, but it's essentially worthless. It doesn't matter at all because I can't play an instrument.
Okay, wait, Jordan, you read the music. I'll play.
Right.
Perfect. And then we will be music chef.
Music chef.
Reka, in high school, I did the same thing when I first started playing in the organized, like in the orchestra or the symphonic band or whatever.
Yeah.
I couldn't read at all, and you had to in order to do those things. So I would like learn them by ear ahead of time, and then and famously one day the band director, Miss Helen Bauer, came over to my music stand and like took the music and put it right side up. And then she was like, keep going. Like it was.
That's like in a movie.
That's really was. Exactly the kind of fucking shit that would happen to me.
And my nickname was Fingers.
Wait a minute. Why do I know that?
I might have said it before, but because I was because I was mostly interested in playing jazz and like rock music, she would call me Fingers.
I think you can't call a student that.
Now you can't say that at all.
I think you should not call a student.
So just to show you on one side of I go to school and I'd be Fingers, and then when I worked for my dad had while I was in high school, my dad had a restaurant that was doing like a lot of seafood and like Italian food, and I was always in charge. I was forced to check in certain seafood deliveries specifically on Squid Day. So my nickname my dad will still occasionally call me Squid Boy.
That's so funny.
Have you ever cleaned squid and prepped it for calamari? It is a gnarly job that leaves you smelling like the sea.
But you know who'd be perfect for it? A guy named Fingers.
Yes, exactly.
That's so funny. I could not even imagine what you're like. At home, my family called me Gaping Hole. I was like, what is he going to say?
Yeah, and then at church, they called me the Shocker.
Totally.
Incredible. Well, Matt, we always ask people what they would have made in this challenge. So if you had to compete in this like mystery box challenge, given what you said your family might send you, what do you think you would have cooked?
I mean, it's not a big wow thing to make like my grandma's sauce with like meatballs. Like it is. It tastes like, it's not gonna on the plate. I'd have to figure out a way to like plate and present. But I might do like a meatball parm on some like really soft but crispy on the outside ciabatta bread with
Ooh.
nice thick slices of fresh mozzarella. Um, yeah,
Ooh, we're getting messy for this.
yeah,
Yes.
you're gonna need it. You're gonna need to do the this napkin.
Yeah, you take a bite and it all fucking squishes out.
Squirt it out.
Like a
I
little
would probably do something
breaststroke.
like that. A heavily garlicked meatball parm sandwich would probably be my move.
Yum. Okay, great. Yeah, if anyone also has additional questions for Rubano, pop them in the chat. I've got one for you right now.
Then I have one.
Oh, great. You want to go first, Jordan?
Go first.
Okay, you said the best. I might have misheard. Did you say the best meal you had on the road was a berry pavlova, or did you say?
This is I discovered I found the only like superlative I can answer is like my favorite dessert if I can just have it is a berries pavlova, which I didn't even know existed until I was in Taking Back Sunday. This is like many years ago, and we were opening for fucking Green Day in London, outside of London. It was this it's the Bullet in a Bible DVD show. If you're a big Green Day fan, the American Idiot DVD is like we opened that show, but we're not on the DVD, I don't think. Anyway, the Green Day catering is some of the best food I've ever eaten in my life. And they also have a vegan side and a normal side, so you get to catering, or maybe veg, but I think it was vegan.
Is Billy Bob vegan? Who vegan?
I think you mean Billy Joe.
Billy Joe? Who cares?
Billy Bob Thornton. Don't
Yes,
know.
Billy Bob Thornton vegan?
Yeah. But they had a berries pavlova that was like it was this huge like punch bowl sized serving of it, and I didn't know what it was, and it was like blueberries and raspberries and blackberries and meringue and fresh whipped cream, and they were just like making it all day. And I think I might have, we went on early, and then I just like was still at catering, like eating and stuff, and I think I ate a really unhealthy amount of it and have tried to make it again. And anytime I see it served in a restaurant, or like some bakeries will have them like as a tart kind of thing, it's just meringue and fruit and whipped cream. It's the ultimate like sweet. I would give up ice cream for enough berries pavlova, I think.
Wow, that's what's great about asking you these questions is each answer is extremely fascinating. It's not like you just went to some restaurant and you got it on tour. It's like, yeah, so Green Day has the best dessert in the biz.
Yeah, I was shocked back there. I was like, this, catering on rock tours is usually like fucking adequate at best.
Mm-hmm.
Food, it takes away the hunger pain.
Yeah,
this, like
incredible. Jordan, what was your question?
Well, first, I do just want to say that I got to go backstage in the Angels and Airwaves concert, and I had their catering.
Yeah.
And it was good. We had
Well, that wasn't catering. That's our rider. That's like our dressing room stuff. Just so you know.
Okay. So
Yeah.
then
What were we eating? No, I remember actually me and you and Lily and AJ were like, we actually left with a lot of that food when we went back.
I remember because Lily brought some to work the next day.
like kebab and pita and fatouche and hummus.
Yep.
It was very good. And then they brought you an ice cream sundae during one of Tom's
Through the acoustics section.
Acoustic set.
So
and you did a big ice cream sundae backstage with us, like on the side of the stage. Honestly, it's one of the coolest things I've ever done. I would say being friends with Rubano is one of the cooler things about me. And it was very cool.
That part of the show, where the drummer Ilan Rubin and I leave stage, and so does Dave Kennedy. He goes to the other side of the stage, and Tom plays some songs solo on the acoustic guitar and does like a lot of crowd work. So over the course of the tour, that part of the show just got longer and longer. Some nights it would be 25 minutes, and our wonderful stage crew on that side of the stage. Our buddy Jake started basically like making us the first night it was a joke. He had like a bunch of Triscuits with little pieces of cheese on it and like 2 cold beers. And when we went over there, we were like, oh, how nice. Look, a little snack. And then it evolved over the course of tour to us just, we're doing a dumb bit by being like, you better have some great snacks over there tonight. and we would like come off stage and go over there, and it got so out of control that by the time we got to the last show of the tour, which was in Los Angeles, there were like chafing dishes and like filet mignon and mashed potatoes and like a full thing, and it was just to knock the bit out of the park. It wasn't because we wanted that. We didn't have time to eat a freaking whole ass dinner, and it was just because Jake was like doubling down on the bit, and
everyone loves a bit. Okay.
He's a champion though. He's a special one. You can follow him on Instagram at Fake Wang.
Okay.
I will. Honestly, I will. We have a good question. Forget my question. We have a better question for Amy, which is, if you were to play the demanding rock star card, what one food would you demand to have backstage? But also, Amy wants you to know that they don't think you would do that. You seem like a very nice human.
Well, thank you. So I want to answer it's a two-part answer, and part one is anybody that toured with me during the Dear Evan Hansen tour saw me have two flip outs. Two flip outs that I'm embarrassed about, and that gig is not for diva. On that gig, you are working. You are one person helping to put up the show, and if you're a little special princess in your head, you got to deal with it yourself because nobody gives a shit. And I also was one of the older musicians in the band. A lot of the musicians were a lot younger than me. So we got to I was rooming with one of my buddies on the tour, and we got to one of our Airbnbs. And you know how on Airbnbs it'll say, we have the kitchen basics. We have salt, pepper, olive oil. And I got to one that had no olive oil, and I threw such a shit fit that I would imagine I'm certain of it, that behind my back, everyone in that orchestra has a running joke about me screaming about olive oil on the phone to this Airbnb owner, being like, "It says olive oil! How do you not have it?" Like, I was really in a bad way. So like, and that wasn't the place or the time to do it. And then a second time we had a very long travel day where we weren't able to access any restaurants, and we went to a rest stop where we were supposed to be able to go to a McDonald's, which for me is like, and when we got there, it was closed, and then I really, really freaked out. And there's video of that freak out that when I left the tour, people were like sending it to me as a like, "Hey man, you got to see this. This is you freaking out in a mini mart about there being no food to eat." And I was like the image that they all sent me was like, it's like me standing in the middle of a closed mart like this. Like looking up at the sky, so annoyed. So those are the two. I'm embarrassed about both of those moments, but I'm glad lots of other people could have fun at my.
Wow, I can't even. Rubano, you're such a nice, even-keeled person who like puts cinnamon in their Cafe Du Monde. Like, yeah. I can't imagine.
Yeah, I lost it over olive oil, over just something that like I could have, gotten, or just been okay with canola for like a hot sec. And yeah.
Do you have items you like on a rider?
I do. I like really basic things on a rider. So I don't like to eat. If it's like chips and chips, like I'll eat that. And if it's like fresh vegetables, I'll eat that. So I kind of like to try and have some real basic stuff, like a sack of decent granola or whatever, or oatmeal or something like that. And then just like some kind of decent protein, whether it be plant or meat, and really simple, clean things. And I'm not that particular. The only stuff I'm particular about is like coffee. Like coffee, kind of. But we also have a guy in our band who's like a coffee chain owner who is. We have so many coffee aficionados in our road crew that there's no bad coffee anywhere near us. David Kennedy, the guitarist in Angels and Airwaves, is the owner of James Coffee, which is like a Southern California coffee chain that's like mostly, I think, in San Diego. And he has some really, really exceptional coffee products, including this one bean that he sent me a couple of months ago that is like beans that were aged in a bourbon barrel. And the coffee smells and tastes a bit like bourbon. It's pretty awesome.
Have you had the cat poop coffee?
I have. I had that. I had that on. I had that in Bali. I was at a restaurant in freaking Bali. After I finished it was the tour that Taking Back Sunday kicked me out after. I left that tour. It was in Australia. The tour ended in Australia, and instead of going home, I was like, "Well, we're close to Bali. I'm gonna look at this." He's like, "No, don't want to be on camera." I went home. Instead of going home, I went to Bali for like a vacation by myself with like a backpack and a headband. Like, I'm gonna be in the jungle. And I went to some fancy restaurants, and one of the things that when they had the Cafe Luwak like on the menu, I was like, "This is a $37 cup of coffee. One, please." And it tasted just like coffee.
Okay.
Unremarkable, other than the facts about how it gets to your mouth.
I just want to say, what is up with everyone having 2 full careers? I barely have one half of one career. What is with everyone being like a successful professional musician and owning a coffee chain and being it's like Dawn on Top Chef. It's like Dawn.
Yeah, Olympian and chef.
Oh, you weren't kidding. She's literally an Olympian.
Yeah, she was an Olympic long jumper.
Oy, oy, oy.
Her brother is also an Olympian, and you have been professionally a musician, but also a comedian and an actor, and I'm just confused.
Yeah, it does seem like
Explain
yourself. It does seem like the side hustle is becoming super normal, but my arriving at comedy and acting was mostly because I needed a break from music, and improv. I just found it endlessly fascinating, and I had set myself up so that I could suck for years at acting and comedy until I got okay at it, that's my story. Isn't that I'm just so talented, everything I touch is easy. It's that I like the path of the humble student. Whatever I want to learn, I'll go about it that way, I think.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I love that. And also, Matt, kind of to take the attention away from you and bring it to me. People in the chat asking, I was in Vegas this weekend. I did go to a Top Chef restaurant. I went to the Black Sheep, which is Jamie from this current season's restaurant. She was there. I saw her. We did not speak because I'm shy. But we had fun. We went for my roommate's birthday because he's also a little Top Chef freak. And the best thing I had was the vegan scallion pancakes, which were more like a taco where the tortilla was a scallion pancake, and then inside there was like pickled radish and a mushroom, like a marinated mushroom mixture, and that was very good.
Jordan, do you feel like you have a refined enough palate, like when you taste dishes at places like that, where you can kind of pick out what's going on?
Are you going to ask Jordan to get into a black box and taste a small bird?
Jordan, step into this room.
Yeah, step into this room. A man with a face tattoo is going to evaluate if you've recreated his dish.
Either of you...
I do think I could, honestly. I am pretty good with ingredients. I think I've tried a lot of stuff, not to toot my own horn.
Yeah.
But I think I could do it.
Cool. I have 2 quick questions, if that's allowed. Is the Girl and the Goat in Chicago, is that a Top Chef restaurant?
Yes, that's Stephanie Izard's restaurant.
I went
to a friend that worked there was a chef there for a while.
No way. I enjoyed a meal there very many years ago. Hold on, I gotta let this guy out of here. And then my other question was, do either of you watch the television show, not on Bravo, Succession?
Yes, okay. I love Succession.
No, but I'm familiar enough.
Okay. Reika, do you remember the episode where Tom and Greg eat that bird? With this?
Have you done that?
Is that a real?
Yes,
no,
it's a real thing.
Is that real?
That's a real thing.
Oh wow!
I'll look it up. It's bird you eat with head covered.
Yeah.
It is called
Little Sparrow.
Ortolan. Yes.
Wow, I've never heard a more 1% douche thing that they then went ahead and did after describing it as being so like you cover your face to hide the shame.
Yes, it's pretty goofy.
Yeah.
Everyone should watch Succession. Ultimately, this is not a Bravo podcast until they sponsor us. So you watch Succession.
Yeah.
Okay, HBO Max, get at us too.
Yep.
Yeah, HBO Max can sponsor this Top Chef podcast.
Yeah. Incredible. Well, Matt, thank you so much for hopping on to chat with us about this episode. Again, if you want to donate to our charity for this season, Heart of Dinner, which provides grocery delivery assistance to the elderly Asian community in New York, you can Venmo at JORDANMYR1CK. That info is in the chat and the description of the video. And one last thing, Rubano. Am I good to tell them? I can tell them? Okay, they said it's good. You are Top Chef.
Whoa.
Yes, a lot of people don't know this, but there are 2 ways to become a top chef. You can compete on the cooking competition show Top Chef and win, or you could be a guest on the Top Chef live YouTube podcast.
Wow.
Either way, an Indian woman will tell you you're Top Chef.
Great.
Beautiful.
I can't wait to look after my new vineyard.
Yeah. Disgusting vineyard in the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're so excited. This season is coming to an end. It's getting really heated. We're really excited about the people who are left. So keep tuning in to Talk Chef to hear more about it. And have a good night.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.